What to do about brain fog? I am going to answer that question today. I am Robin-Nutritionist. Brain fog is common for us women of a certain age after 40. I'm going to give you a checklist of what must be done in order to reduce brain fog, and you can see if you're doing these things. What is brain fog? Brain fog is our reduced cognition. Sometimes it's our inability to concentrate, to focus, to remember. Like you know that person's name, it's right at the tip of your tongue, but you cannot remember who they are, what the name is, or you're looking for something. You go upstairs for something and you get up there and you're like, why was I here? It's that, right? You were foggy in the brain. And again, common for us in this space. What to do about it? Here's a list, okay? And I want you to hear this video all the way through because I also want to talk to you about nootropic. Hang on. I'm going to give you some do-it-yourself remedies. And then lastly, we're going to talk about bringing in maybe some medical support. Let's talk about it. Okay. The first part, I'm a nutritionist. I always have to say, from a nutrition standpoint, the following things must be true or our brain fog and for everything else. You want to make sure that your blood sugar is balanced, that you are not dealing with insulin resistance. And some of these things I'm going to say about nutrition, you can ask me about later, but I don't want to make this a forever video. From the nutrition side, these are imperative. Obviously, a lot of produce, our leafy greens, right? Which also brings us to the fiber. Gotta have that fiber to keep everything going. And at this stage, very protein rich diet, must haves, right? From the nutrition side, also, I recommend eliminating these two foods, not forever, but just to see if when you do not eat these foods, do you have clearer thoughts? Because these two foods are common inflammatory foods. One of them is gluten, which is the protein found in wheat. Only because in this day and age, it's sprayed with this chemical called glyphosate that messes with our gut, that messes with our brain. If for like 10 days, if you're eliminating gluten, just to see if that helps you. Also, dairy, because of today, can be an inflammatory food. Milk, cheese, ice cream, butter, just for a little while. If you have brain fog from a nutrition standpoint, pull back on those for a little bit. If you're a part of the necessary nutrition community, we do the reset for 10 days and we'll help guide you through that. That's the nutrition part. Make sure your nutrition is in order because your body and your brain needs these nutrients. The second part is water, making sure that you are not dehydrated. This is simple-ish, right? If you're dehydrated, the brain is not getting what it needs to function and think and all of those things. So making sure that you are hydrated, right? Get you some water right now while you're listening to this. The third one, exercise, but not just cardio, but weights. Because the weight bearing exercise helps us tremendously in this age, including supporting our brain. You got to listen to the whole video because I really am going to drop some things for you. But those are the simple ones. The eating part, the water, the movement with weight bearing exercises, and also when it comes to movement, even if you are able to get outside and walk and get the sun, and if you are able to be somewhere where you can walk barefooted and ground your feet in the earth, that helps too. Sleep. How is your sleep? Is it good? Are you disrupted? Obviously, if you're not getting enough sleep, it's hard to focus and concentrate for some of us. Some things to do for sleep health: blue lights on your cell phone, not being stimulated before you go to bed, and taking magnesium before you go to bed. I'm going to come back to magnesium in a second. But your sleep. How is your sleep? Okay. Are you sleeping well, peacefully through the night? Now, supplementations. The three must-have supplements. First of all, is vitamin D. Know what your vitamin D levels are. First of all, know what they are. And vitamin D helps with mood and helps with supporting our insulin. You must be taking your vitamin D3 unless you are like always in the sun. You want to take your vitamin D3 with K2. You also want to know what your levels are. Second supplement is magnesium because that helps us with relaxation, calmness, and sleep. Third one, and we're talking about this brain fog, are the omegas. They help our brain specifically. I'll take a plant-based omega. It is effective. It works. I'll put the information down. There are others, but I'm going to share with the one that I take. Now, let's talk about nootropics. Nootropics. And nootropics are substances, herbs, or pharmaceuticals. It could be supplements or nutraceuticals or in forms of drinks. They help improve cognition, memory, focus. Nootropics. They can be in form of a supplement, a nutraceutical, or a drink. A list of nootropics, and you've likely heard of them. I'm looking at my notes. Rhodiola, ashwagandha, lion's mane, tryptophan, that's in protein, ginkgo biloba, ginkgo biloba. Those are examples of nootropics, and they do work. We're also different. You got to find what works for you. I'm going to give you a nootropic that I used, that I know works, and you can give that a try. And in doing so, it's always a money back guarantee. There is a product called LUMINATE, and it is a nootropic blend with adaptogens. It is a drink. You put it in water and you drink it. If you are really having struggles with brain fog, try it and see. I drink it when I know that I need to focus and I'm working on a project, and it really does do that. What is in LUMINATE? Alpinia galaga, which is from the ginger family, lion's mane, cordyceps, sage, coffee berry, so there's some caffeine in there, rhodiola, and ashwagandha. And it is specifically designed for mental clarity, working memory, focus, and mood. And it helps. It helps. I'm going to put that information down there. You've done all the things, the eating, the exercise, the water, and all of that. And you say, okay, but I need to try something else. Then I suggest that you try LUMINATE. I'm going to put the information down so you can look it up and see what you think about it and use the link that I provide for you. And then lastly, I am a humongous proponent of getting your hormones checked. Thyroid, adrenals, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. If you are a woman over 40 and you do not know and have not had your hormones checked, looking under the hood to see what's going on, because you can do all of the things that I mentioned, which are wonderful things to do. But when you know what your hormones are doing, it informs you of exactly the next step to take. And yes, you need a medical professional to help you with that. And then they might see it and say, oh yeah, take a nootropic, right? They still are probably going to suggest or not suggest, but suggest some of the things that I suggested. If you want to do what I mentioned first, do it yourselves and see how that works for you. And illuminate really does work. And then eventually get your hormones checked. Now, you may have insurance, you may have a traditional OBGYN, and that is cool because I do too. Likely because of insurance requirements or stipulations, they're not able to take a deep dive into your hormones that a integrative or naturopathic functional medicine doctor would be able to do, because with them, you're paying out of your pocket and they're not bound to insurance regulations and all of those things. But I know we don't want to pay. I understand that. If you go to your traditional doctor, they're going to give you a limited scope. But try that first if you have insurance and you want to, because I did. I tried that first. I tried that. Now I have gotten my hormones checked by an integrative OBGYN, which means she can prescribe medication, but she can also prescribe herbs and nootropics and all of those things. And it has helped me tremendously. I will say that. But yes, I paid out of my pocket. I'll do a separate video to tell you what happened. I did a video, but I want to give updates and then how much I paid, because that's what people want to know. Like, how much did you pay? I'll tell you that later. But the do-it-yourselves, the least expensive, do it yourself. So we talked about the nutrition part. You need support with that, reach out. The water, simple. The exercise, the weights, the walking, breathing, getting that oxygen to the brain, the sleep health, what's your sleep going through? And then the supplements. You got to be taking your vitamin D3 with K2 and the magnesium health, especially if your magnesium not only helps brain fog, it helps with relaxation and anxiety and sleep, but it also helps with our bone density. You're looking for glycinate or citrate with the magnesium, glycinate or citrate, all of which Necessary Nutrition has. We have the D, we have the magnesium, and the omegas. I have a recommendation, the one that I use that's plant-based, but those are the 3 supplements that are important to support our brain cognition, concentration for the supplements outside of the nootropics. And then the nootropics are herbs that and plant extracts that help. LUMINATE does help. Try that. Let me know what it does for you. And it's always a money back guarantee. Use the link that I'm going to provide here and then consider getting your hormones checked. And I'll tell you this, I knew how much it was going to cost to get my hormones checked. I saved up and then I got it done and it helped. All right, peace and blessings. This is Robin, Necessary Nutritionist. If you need, I'm going to put the links down for making sure you have your D3K2, your magnesium, the omegas, and the LUMINATE. Try the LUMINATE. All right, peace and blessings. I'm also putting this on YouTube, so I'm going to say like, comment, subscribe, all of the stuff that has to be said when I'm doing a YouTube video. This is Robin, Nutritionist, Necessary Nutrition. Peace and blessings. Eat well, think well, and be well. Until we talk again.